Good Sunday afternoon, everybody. This is Chris from CD Scale Models. Hope everybody out there is doing okay. Hope everyone's enjoying the weekend. In the Northeast, where I'm at, we're supposed to get some nice weather this week. So if I have some time, I'd like to go outside and I'd like to work on my next kit, trying to take advantage. This winter will just not let go. I mean, just you had your time. Move the hell on because you're going to be here before we know it anyway next winter. So just move the hell out of here. You had enough time now. So even though we didn't have a bad winter here, enough's enough. Anyway, I want to thank everyone for watching my videos. Whoever does. Sorry I haven't caught up on a lot of your guys' videos. I'm trying. It's not the easiest task in the world, but I'm trying. I just don't want you guys to think that I'm, forgetting about you guys, because I'm not. I'm having trouble building my own content. But anyway, I just wanted to touch really fast. Yesterday was Mosquito Con 24, and it was a great show. This is my third time at it. First time I went as a spectator. Last year I went, had a great time, and this year I went and I had an equally great time, if not better. It was a long day. I didn't get lost like last year. My navigation didn't fail me, so I got home in a timely fashion. I left my house, I don't know, 7-ish, give or take, and I don't speed when I go there because, I have model kits in the car, and God forbid I have to stop short. I don't want to, but I got there early, and I was with Frank, and then Craig showed up, modeler Frank Frizzo. If anyone doesn't know who they are really, really great pillars in the community. They're both friends of mine. And then we met up with Chris Ortlieb from Diablo's Workshop, and I'm sure everyone knows him as well. I know he's been putting up some content in recent months now that he's had some more time on the bench. So Onyx was there. Onyx Fierro, he was there. He won some awards, so congratulations, Onyx. And Craig, the Mutt Modeler, won an award, so I want to congratulate you two as well. Well deserved. And we had a great time. Frank bought some cars, which was nice. He brought 2 Mopars, and he brought an old 44 that was painted in this almond color. It's what a car. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And that almond color really, really, it really enhanced the kit. So he did a wonderful job on it. I'm glad he brought it. And Chris was just there as a spectator. He didn't want to bring anything. And we had a great time, honestly. We really didn't do much. We just had a great time. We enjoyed the show. After the show was over, we went out for a bite, and we were there for several hours. I think I left at around 10-ish because I had a long drive, so by the time I got home, it was a little after 11. I had a long day and a long night. But great show. Really, really nice model kits. I'm looking forward to the NNL because I plan on buying some stuff. There's a few kits that I am on the hunt for, which I should be able to find because they're not difficult kits, but I want to find them. And, of course, I need some photo etch, and I need, things like that. And I'm hoping we're going to have an equally great time at the NNL, and I'm hoping that more people are going to show up than did at Mosquito Con. I'm looking at you, David Chin. And that's really pretty much it. It was a wonderful show. I don't really have any video footage or anything like that. I don't do that. I'm sure Onyx I know he does videos, so he'll probably have some footage of the kits that were there, but it was just a really good show. I met Jay Savarese. Now, I don't know him, but it's funny. I know he's known in the community, and I've heard his name thrown around. He does mostly NASCAR and race car. It's funny, because last year, when I went to Mosquito Con to show my car, I never been to a show where you have to fill out forms and everything, so he happened to be next to me, and I said, hey, can I ask you a question? He's like, sure. And I said, hey, I've never done this before. I want to make sure I don't flounder. He showed me how to fill out the forms and what to do and how to get everything set up. So I went, all right, thanks. And then he went on his way. Now, I had another issue when I was filling out the paperwork, so I asked this other gentleman, and he was very helpful too. So I got through it. So yesterday, Frank was at the show before me, and he texted me. He's like, hey, I'm here. So I was there maybe 20 minutes after. So I went in the lobby, I found him, and he happened to be standing next to Jay Savarese. Again, I didn't know who he was. I just said, hey, I said, I remember you from, apparently Frank and him know each other. So I went, hey, I said, I remember you from last year. I said, I don't know if you remember me. I said, but I said, you helped me, kind of get in and everything. And we were chatting online and we were chatting during the day. And Jay won, I want to say 1 or 2 awards, if I'm not mistaken. But after we walked inside, Frank mentioned that was Jay Savarese. And I said, oh, wow. I said, it's funny. I was talking to him last year. I didn't know who he was, but we were chatting here and there throughout the day. It was just funny how I just, was talking to somebody that, is pretty well known in the community, I guess, and has been very involved in it. And he's an excellent builder. And I just thought he was just a regular guy that just happened to know what he was doing. He's a nice guy, Jay. So I'm going to see him in a couple of weeks. And, yeah, when he was leaving, I said, congratulations on your award. He's like, I'll see you in a couple of weeks, man. So, I met another person in the community that, we all share the same, hobby and passion. So it was cool. Anyway, this is what I wanted to talk about. It's finished. As you guys can see, it's the 1969 Chevy Nova Yenko kit. Now, I used this kit, and then I also used the Chevy Nova Copo kit. It's like an emerald green, and it has the other dog dish hubcaps on it. If you want to build a true Yenko, you have to do it this way because you need both kits. And I used both kits, and it came out great. And I'm going to go over it with you guys. I'm not going to take an hour and a half of your time, but I'm really, really pleased with this kit, and I'm going to bring it next year to NNL with my 2 other Yenko kits. Anyway, let me get into the build. So I'm going to show it to you guys from the side. I put the dog dish hubcaps on it because I wanted to put that sleeper look to it. Now, another thing that I did was I used the AMT Goodyear tires. I didn't want to use tire decals. I don't hate them. I can use them. They work well for me. But no matter what, you can tell they're a decal. You just can. Now, unless I can find, decal transfers that are actual rub-on transfers, I'm going to use this method. They're AMT Goodyear tires. And plus, you can't beat them. They're the best pad printed tires in the business. They really are. So I had to modify them a little bit to make them fit. That was not the happiest task, but I got it to work. And it has a really nice stance. It's a great kit. I really didn't have to do anything to it. If anyone built this kit or if anyone's thinking about building it, there's really not much to do. It's a wonderful kit. Goes together great. And you have to use the Copo rear valance panel to put it on to get it on a true Nova. You can't use it in the Yenko kit. And you kind of have to mix and match a couple of parts here and there. You have to use the bench seat from the Copo kit into this kit. You got to kind of do your research and know what goes into which kit. And the Model Car Garage photo etch is great, but what I did notice is the ice cube trays, as they're referred to. I wanted to use the photo etch ones. They're a little too short. They're not long enough to fit in here, so I had to use the kit ones, which is fine. I just gave them a wash. Now, what I'm going to do is, before I start handling this car, I'm going to remove the hood because I'm sick of my damn hoods falling off when I'm trying to show off a car to you guys. So, bye-bye hood. Other than that, I just painted the underneath it, semi. I think it's actually to me a semi-gloss acrylic black, and that's really all I did to the hood. Decals went on great. I didn't have any problems with the decals. Well, I shouldn't say that. I had a little tiny boo-boo. It's very, very noticeable. It's a tiny little pinhole. So I took a little white acrylic paint and I just touched it. You can't really see it. Other than that, there's really not many issues with the kit. The rear glass is in there. When I was trying to futz around with it, it's not quite flush, but, I took this body off a couple of times, and in doing so, I had a little tiny glue boo-boo on the bottom, very, very slight. You really can't see it. It looks great, though, when it's on its own. Anyway, I put the antenna, I put the dog dish hubcaps, I put the valve stems, I put the Yenko decals. Foiling on this car was great. I had no problem with the bare metal foil. I mean, it's nice. It looks crisp. I'm pretty good at foiling. I mean, I didn't have a lot of trouble with it. I left the kit chrome on the bumpers because I just figured the hell with it. I like it. There really wasn't much, seam lines. I left it. I removed the kit grill and I put the photo etch grill and I spray painted it with Mr. Hobby 1500 black primer. That's in there on the edges of the kit bumper right there. I colored it in with flat black acrylic paint. Now, as far as photo etch, I used all the model car garage photo etch. The front light, it's half of the reflector light, and then the other half says 427. I'm going to try to show that to you. I showed it on my Facebook. But that's photo etch. I had to divide it in half. I had to put some clear orange, and then in the other half I had to color it with a Molotow marker, fine pen. I removed the excess. I have the Nova Model Car Garage badges, and then next to it I have the Yenko, and I actually colored the Yenko badges blue and red, like the real Yenko badges. I didn't just slap them on. I did the same on the rear. Let's see if I can show it to you. The rear one, I put the Chevy emblem in the middle, and then I dropped a little clear blue, and then next to it is the Yenko emblem. I put my license plate. I put the Yenko plate on the front. All of these plates are going to have the Yenko license plate. I'm going to line them up next year at the NNL show. That's my plan. So, the kit shifter is... I use the Detail Master kit shifter kit. I used the ball. I used a pin stem, shaped it to the kit one, flocked it. I have my seatbelts in there. I have my GM seatbelts. They actually say GM on the photo etch. I colored it in with a little blue, scraped off the excess so it went into the low spots. The dashboard, I did my usual stuff. I put the gauge in. I put the clear acrylic. I put the pin stem for a turn signal stalk. Again, you can't see it in this car. Everything's black. I did show a lot of it on my Facebook page. What I did use on this kit, because I wanted to try it, I used the MIG dark wash. I wanted to weather this up. I did the overspray under the chassis, and then I kind of did gray primer, and then I faded it in with a little lighter gray primer, and then I just did some fading and shading. I heat stained the exhaust. I put a little model Protect bolt head to replicate the oil drain plug, which is in the correct position, the correct spot. I picked out the brake lines very carefully with, I think I used Vallejo silver, and that's really all I did. I just weathered it up, and it looks perfect. I mean, and I just painted the frame over here on this car. I painted it black acrylic, and I weathered it, and it looks correct. I also did the drive shaft in the K&S aluminum tubing, and if you look over there, you see those 3 little stripes. Those are the factory markings that the factory puts on these cars. Apparently, they did an orange, a blue, and a green. I wanted to put that on the car because I've never done it before, and I want to try to get, nice factory stuff. Engine. Oh, boy. This engine, I try to up my engine game as much as I can, and I think I've been pretty okay with it. I put photo etch windshield wipers on it. I'm not crazy about these wipers, honestly. They're the Detail Master ones. They're great wipers, but they're just not correct for the car. So on my other 2 Yenkos, I'm just going to leave the kit ones, and I'm just going to, paint them and call it a day. I like to put as much photo etch as I can, but sometimes photo etch is not necessarily the remedy. So underneath, that's an aluminum air cleaner. That's the ProTech aluminum. That's the ones that, the typical ones on the American muscle cars. My father-in-law hollowed it out underneath for me because there was no way I could get the hood closed, and I wasn't going to shave down the carburetor because I had lines and I had things running. So he hollowed it out. I dropped it over the carburetor, glued it. Hood closes perfectly. I have bolt details. I have radiator cap. I have battery cables. I even have the little black over there. There's a little ground one, if you can see it, and it goes right against the fender well. That's the other ground for it. Heater hoses. I have upper radiator rubber hoses. All my hoses are rubber. They have fittings. I have the master cylinder lines. I have the little line that runs from the washer reservoir. I have oil breather lines running into it. I have fuel lines. And then on the Chevys, There's a little tiny hose that goes from the front of the manifold to the water pump. It's a tiny little hose. I added it with 2 micro fittings. I ran the decals from the kit. I ran lines on the firewall. I got the really, really fine Protect detail wire, and I braided it. I took yellow and red, braided it there, and then I took red and black, and I braided it there. I'm sorry for the shaky camera. I'm just trying to show you guys. I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, but I also ran a little, the heater hoses, they sit on top of the fender well, and there's sometimes like a little black clamp. I use these seat belts from Etsy. They almost look like black electrical tape, but they're flat. It's not a shiny finish. I cut a little piece of the electrical tape, and I just colored it in. I just put a little glue underneath it, and it replicates the little bracket that keeps the hoses on top of the fender well. I really don't want to take too much time other than that, guys. I plan on bringing it. It's a phenomenal kit. I like it because when people build the Yenkos, a lot of times they just build it right out of the box with the Magnum 500s. Nothing wrong with that. I wanted to do something different. I really haven't seen the sleeper look. I saw it maybe once, but I like the sleeper look. And they did make a true Yenko like this because I happened to find one. And I did it in, the color is the Tessa's Extreme Lacquer Star Spangled Blue. And it kind of looks like the other Nova Blue. It's just, I have nothing bad to say about this kit. If anyone's thinking about building it, build it. You will not regret it. I really didn't have to do any modifying other than the tires, but I think she looks great. She sits great. You'll have no problems with this model kit. Anyway, guys, I just wanted to thank everybody. It was great to see everyone yesterday. I'm glad some people made it. Hope you guys are well, and I will see anyone that's going to the NNL in a couple of weeks. I will see you guys there, and hopefully we will hang out. Enjoy the rest of the weekend, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye, all.